Hello everyone, today we will discuss about cyber law and ethics. So our very first topic is appropriate usage of social network. For that we need to know what is social network. Social network refers to web and mobile technologies or their practices to share content, thoughts, idea, opinions, experiences, etc. online. Now, you might be very well know about the social networking websites which are like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and other blogging websites. What you do on these websites, we basically share our opinions, share our ideas, our thoughts, like by putting a status, by commenting on any post or any picture, right? We can share our experiences if we have like by sharing our suggestions or feedback to something, so we can share our experiences online. So these are the things what we can do on social networking websites. So the common rules to use social networking websites are like some of the things which we are discussing is don't be rude or abusive, which means if you are commenting on some post or some picture, don't be rude or abusive. It can like hurt someone, right? Second is don't spread rumors. Just be very sure about the content you are posting. Don't spread rumors or don't trust anyone who is saying anything online, right? You are what you write or tweet. Means if you are writing something, if you are posting something, if you are putting a status or writing about something, so it belongs to you, so people will think that you are what you are writing, right? Next is face your problems, don't post your problems. Nowadays what happens that we are very emotional nowadays, maybe like anything, but what we do is we post the things online, which is not a good thing. We should not socialize our emotions, right? Next is don't take it too seriously. Now what happens, like if someone is posting something and you are just thinking about it and just spending all the time thinking about it, so don't take things too seriously which are online posted. Don't use fake names. Fake names means don't use your account on the name of some other person. Next is protect your identity. You should protect your identity. That means you should use privacy of each and every website you are using. Respect others' sentiments. Respect others' sentiment means if someone is sharing some experience or some idea or some opinion, do try and respect it. Don't be rude or abusive or comment anything which can't be liked by someone else. Don't fight online. Nowadays it is very much in trend that people tweet and the other people comment on it and they start fighting on it. People target the other person in their comment. It should not happen, because everyone should keep their emotions in control and they should not fight online publicly. Computer security threats, in which very first is very common and you might be knowing about is computer virus. Now what is computer virus? Computer virus is any other software, application, or we can say computer program which when executed replicates itself by modifying other computer programs and inserting its own code. Now when it insert its code to some other program, then the program execution, or we can say the instructions of the program execution, is altered in a way that we do not get a desired result. Next is adware. Adware, it is an advertising support software that generates revenue for its developed by automatically generating online advertisements in the user interface of the software or on a screen presented to the user during the installation process. Now what happens, it is a very basic thing which you can notice online nowadays, that whenever you open any page or you start any YouTube video and you see a advertisement before and after it. Now what is happening with that it is a adware which is which is added to the video, and it will get revenue, or we can say the person who has made the video will be get paid for it, right? Next is Trojan horse. Trojan horse, we also call it Trojan. It is basically a malicious code, or we can say another software which may look simple but it takes control of your computer. A Trojan is basically designed to damage or steal the data of your computer, inflict some other mutual harmful actions on your data or network, right? Malware, it is basically a name given to a collection or number of malicious softwares variants like virus, spyware, adware. So, what are malwares? They are basically developed by the cyber attackers or hackers, which can cause harm to your data, or if they intentionally want to gain unauthorized access to the network or your data. Next is phishing. Now, phishing is a type of cybercrime in which a target or a victim is being contacted by any means, which can be email, telephone, text message, to gain some identity information, some personal information, some sensitive data like banking or credit card details, or your passwords, your we have also discussed the same in the previous class. That very good example is when you get a call from some fraud who says that I am calling from so and so bank and your credit card has been expired, or we need a pin of your debit card or credit card details or any information about your banking, and they just take out the money from your bank account. So this is a kind of fraud which is called phishing, and it is a cyber crime. Next is eavesdropping. Now, what is eavesdropping? It is first thing, it is illegal and unethical. Now, what is it actually? It is like if you are listening to some private conversation or some communication, or you are peeping into some chat or conversation which is a personal information which should not be seen by some other person, is eavesdropping. Safely data communication, in which we will discuss identity verification methods, and the very first thing in it is knowledge based authentication, in which a user is asked for a specific question which can be answered by the user only. Second is two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication means that we do have a username, password, and addition to it is some security question. Nowadays, whenever we create any account, then what happens? They ask us to set username and password and ask for some security question as well, right? Third is online identity verification, which means that suppose that government have provided someone some identity card, and to verify that identity card they use some artificial intelligence, computer versions, algorithms. So it is online identity verification to verify the identity card provided by some institute, some firm, or some government. Next is biometric verification. Biometric verification means someone's unique identity which can be your retina identification or thumbprint, fingerprint, right? Nowadays biometric verification is used almost everywhere to verify the staff attendance in the institute or firm. Okay, next is intellectual property rights. Now, what is it? It is basically the legal rights that covers the privileges given to the individual who are the owner or inventor of a work. That work can be anything like literature, music, invention, right? Like suppose I have done some experiment with chemicals and I have proved something, so that will be registered on my name with these intellectual property rights, that whatever the thing I have done, whatever the thing I have created, if I have created some music composition, or if I have written something in literature or anything, any discovery I have done any research work, that will be registered on my name, and I will be having an intellectual property right. That means someone cannot, if I have done an experiment, or I have composed some music, that music will belongs to me. If someone says in future someone composed the same music or same discovery or same experiment, and they say that they have discovered it, so it will be false, because it has been registered as a my intellectual property, right? Now, plagiarism refers to using some other's person, idea, or information without acknowledging that specific person as the source. Similar to all other forms of theft, plagiarism also has many disadvantages associated with it, which means plagiarism is like a theft, we can say. That if you are stealing some, like we have just discussed the intellectual property right, that if I am composing some music, or I am discovering something, so if it is my property then, right? So if someone is trying to steal it, or if someone is trying to copy the same, then that process is called plagiarism. It is basically not a crime, but it is a breach of ethics. Digital rights management. It is also known as prevent content leakage, and in short form we call it DRM. It is basically a systematic approach to copyright protection for digital media. Now what happens, like digital media, like movies, music, whenever a movie get released, and you might have heard about piracy, right? One is to buy thing, and second is to make copy of it and redistribute it. So if we make a copy of it and redistribute it by any means, like online or offline, so it is called DRM. So to prevent it, we have digital rights management. Okay, next is licensing. Now in general, if we say what is it, so if you want to drive a car, you need a license for it. Why do you need a license? It proves that you have the authority to drive now, right? Similar in the case of software license, if it is basically a document that provides legal binding guidelines for the use and distribution of the software. Now if you get a license of the software, you can make one or more copies of it, and you can distribute them without any violation of copyrights, right? Now open data is the data which is freely available to everyone to use and republish as they wish without any restriction from copyright, patent, or any other mechanism, which means that if you the open data which is available on the internet, if you use it anywhere in your research or publications or anywhere, then it will not be considered as plagiarism. Plagiarism means theft of data, right? So it will not be a theft, it will not be a crime in any way. Open data means which is available for everyone, which can be used in any way. Now what is the purpose of this open data? Basically it is used for educational purpose, right? Or we can say some softwares are open data softwares, hardware, and it provides basically knowledge about anything. Open source means whose source is available to use. Now basically what open source denotes, open source means open source software, which are the type of computer softwares in which the source code is released under the license, in which the copyright holder grants user the right to use, study, change, and distribute the software to anyone and for any purpose. Like open source softwares are those softwares which we use, which are freely available on internet. We don't need to buy it, and if we download that software and we redistribute it among our friends or anyone else, so it is not a crime, it will not be a copyright, it will not be a theft, we can use those software, we can download it free of cost from the internet, and we can redistribute it to anyone. For example, open office. Nowadays wide variety of offices, management, everyone is using open office, and open office is free of cost, and it is similar to Microsoft Office. Whereas Microsoft Office is a paid software, we need to buy it, and open source is free of cost. Now Firefox browser, right, some browsers are free of cost. VLC media player is a software which can be downloaded free of cost from the internet, and we can use it and redistribute it. Now privacy is the ability of an individual or a group to seclude themselves or information about themselves and express themselves selectively or in a selective manner. Now what does privacy basically means is, like, if we don't want to share some of our information to anyone else, then we want privacy from that person, right? So and if we talk about privacy on internet, so in that manner, when we use any social networking website, suppose social networking website, and we put a privacy setting, like if you are putting some information, some idea, some opinion, some photograph, and you want to show it to some selective friends, then you can put a privacy to it, right? Privacy means to share your information or in a selective manner.